So, what if you could sit down with over 50 of the world's most brilliant financial minds? We're talking Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, legends like that. Well, Tony Robbins did just that for his book, Money, Master the Game. His entire mission was to take all that genius and boil it down into a simple blueprint that anyone could use for financial freedom. And in the next few minutes, we're going to give you the absolute core of that blueprint.
Let's start with a question that honestly keeps a lot of us up at night. You work so hard. You trade your time, your energy, your life really, for money. But what happens then? Is that money just sitting there? Or is it out there 24/7 building a future where you don't have to trade your time for money anymore? For most of us, if we're being honest, the answer is a little uncomfortable.
Tony Robbins uses this incredible metaphor to describe the financial world we all live in. It's a jungle, right? It's overgrown, the path isn't clear, and there are predators lurking everywhere. Things like crazy high fees and just plain bad advice. Most people are just trying to get by, just trying to survive, when they could be thriving if they only knew the way.
But here's the thing. What if you had a map to get through that jungle? And what if that map was drawn by the people who've already mastered it? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack. The game is absolutely winnable. You just have to know the rules.
Okay, so before we can start building, we've got to do a little demolition. The financial industry has been built on some really powerful myths. Myths that are designed to make them rich, not you. And just seeing these traps for what they are is the very first step to getting free.
This is the big one. The #1 promise you hear from Wall Street. Hey, we're the experts. We've got the secret sauce. We can beat the market for you. It sounds great, right? But the actual data, the hard numbers, tell a completely different story. And here is that story. 96%. Over a 15-year period, a staggering 96% of large-cap mutual funds, the ones run by the so-called pros, failed to beat a simple market index. Just let that sink in. You pay extra for a professional to manage your money, and 96 times out of 100, you would have been better off doing something much, much simpler. It's just wild.
And this quote from Warren Buffett, one of the masters Tony interviewed, just nails it. The biggest risk you face isn't a market crash. It's not knowing the rules of the game you're playing. It's believing the myths without actually checking the facts. In the world of finance, knowledge isn't just power. It's your best defense.
So you see, it's not just that these funds underperform, it's the fees. The fees are like a constant anchor, just dragging on your investments year after year. They seem small, 1 or 2%, but over time, they compound and can literally devour hundreds of thousands of dollars of your potential returns.
So we've seen the traps, we know what to avoid. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's look at the map itself. This is the actionable part, the simple, proven steps you can take to start building real wealth, like today.
The very first move, the absolute non-negotiable foundation of this whole plan, is creating what's called a freedom fund. This is more than just a savings account. It's a profound mental shift. You decide on a percentage of your income. Maybe it's 10%, 15%, and that money is no longer yours to spend. It belongs to your future self. You automate it so it goes into an investment account before you can even touch it. This becomes the engine that will one day set you free.
The whole blueprint really boils down to 3 simple, powerful moves. First, you automate your savings. You make that crucial decision once, and then technology does the work for you. Second, you know the rules. That means you avoid those high-fee products we just talked about, and you stick with simple, low-cost index funds. And third, you allocate. You don't just dump all your money in one place. You have a smart strategy to balance risk and growth.
And that allocation part is actually pretty simple. Think of it like you have 2 buckets. You've got your security bucket. This is for the money you absolutely cannot afford to lose. Think safe stuff like bonds. Then you've got your risk and growth bucket. This is where you take calculated risks for higher returns, like with stocks. The exact mix changes based on your age, but the principle is the same. Protect yourself from the bad times while still capturing the good times.
And what this all boils down to is a massive shift in thinking. This strategy isn't about being a genius who can predict what the market will do next week. Nobody can do that. It's about building a solid, automatic system and then just letting the power of compound interest do its magic over decades. Consistency will always be brilliance.
So we've covered the mechanics, the how-to, but Tony Robbins argues, and this is so important, that we have to understand the why. Mastering money isn't just about ending up with a giant pile of cash. It's about what that money can actually do for your life, and maybe for the lives of others too.
See, he says that all of us, no matter who we are driven by 6 core human needs. We all need certainty. We need variety. We need to feel significant. But he says the true, lasting fulfillment, the kind that makes for a beautiful life, really comes from the last two. Constantly growing as a person and contributing to something bigger than yourself. Money is just a tool to help meet those deeper needs.
And that really leads to the ultimate question, doesn't it? What's the point of all this? If you had more money than you could ever spend, what would you actually do with your time and your life? What truly matters? Because the answer, it turns out, is not a number in a bank account. It's a way of living.
And this right here, this is the final secret. This is what all the masters of the game discovered at the end of their journey. The greatest joy, the greatest wealth, doesn't come from having. It comes from giving. True wealth is the capacity to contribute, to make a real difference in the world.
So look, the ultimate takeaway here is all about empowerment. That financial jungle, it's real, but now you have a map. Those myths, they're everywhere, but now you know the truth. Your financial destiny is not some matter of luck or chance. It's a matter of choice. The rules are actually pretty simple. Now it's your turn to go play the game.